There we go. We are a quick stop, early start, live go from Bead Maker and Coffee today, post Monterey edition. I know it's been a week, but it kind of feels like we're still on the high of being at Monterey. And for that reason, we have with us the one, the only Jason Robert Otterness from Car Supplies Warehouse, the Bays, and his world tour. So welcome, Jason.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
So fun. Well, thanks for joining us today, Jason. This is super exciting. And you are somewhere that is familiar to myself. You're in my shop, which is so awesome. Yeah, so awesome. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing, and then we'll go back to Monterey. So Jason is here in Boise to do an optical training. So 3 days of PPF training, and it's going to be a high 90s this week in Boise, and some of our options either had not great lighting or not great airflow. So we decided to do it here. So I'm super excited, and it should be a great week. So I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for coming, and I look forward to an awesome week. So tell us where you've been.
Well, I mean, I started off in Chicago, and this is kind of, planning this training. There's a lot of things that need to be shipped out to do a paint protection film training. You got film, you got kegs, you got tables, you got all this stuff. And so I wanted to make sure I had everything for this training. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I can just, take my time out there, take a week. So I have family actually in Minnesota. So I started off in Wisconsin, and I visited a few shops there and got to talk to people. I stopped in Minnesota, got to have dinner with my mom and my sister, which was awesome. And then I have a friend named Spencer in Mitchell, South Dakota, who just built an amazing new shop. So I stopped there, got to do a video tour of his shop. So I'm going to make a whole video of his new shop and kind of showing that off. And I just continued right down to Denver, where I met a bunch of friends, Salt Lake City, and now I'm here in Boise. So it was really cool to be able to actually just kind of drive out here, take my time, visit people, and now we're here for the 3-day paint protection film training. I'm not looking forward to the drive home because it's 24 hours straight, so might have to make a couple stops on the way back.
Yeah. You don't have that like high of the next place, right? You're just focusing on getting home. Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. Well, we're excited. I know I've been enjoying all of your posts on social media to see where you've been. And, it was fun, especially when you got to Salt Lake. Like, I love Budco. And Keith and I got to go see Cougar's place up in Park City probably like 2 weeks before they were ready to open it. So that was kind of cool to see it full of cars and stuff. I need to get back up there and see it, but super cool. Super cool. Did you get to go to Cougar's shop in Salt Lake as well, or just the one in Park City?
I didn't go to the one. I've been to the Salt Lake shop a bunch of times, and that one's huge and amazing. And I know that he's been working on the Park City location for several years, so it was really kind of cool to go up there and see it all put together. And it's connected to what's called the warehouse, is like a luxury car storage membership restaurant. Is just like you walk in there and just blows your mind. Where am I? Why is this here? So it's really cool.
So cool. All right, Joey, Jason did not sleep in the garage. He actually beat me here, though, from my morning coffee run. So, coffee. I got behind slow drivers this morning. I was so annoyed. I was like, come on, you guys. It's 6:30 in the morning. Well, very cool. So
I want to say hi, Joey. I miss you.
I know. We always miss Joey. So fun. So fun. So let's get into that. So you got to join us on our Monterey detailing team this year. And our last Bead Maker and Coffee was kicking it off that morning. We were getting ready to go pick everybody up from the airport. So tell us about your experience.
Oh my gosh. It seems like it was like 3 months ago, doesn't it? It seems like such a long time ago. But yeah, I was very honored to be invited to go out to this. And I really honestly, didn't know what to expect. I had to do a little bit of research of what the quail was and what Monterey Car Week was actually. And it was really cool to be, we started off with the auction cars, cleaning them up. And that was really cool to be able to just to see. I mean, how many cars were there? There's like 160, 200 cars somewhere in there. that we are pretty much responsible. It's a a heavy weight on your shoulders when you know that you got to take care of these cars, and they're going to go out and be auctioned off, and you could you want to make sure that car looks perfect so people can get as much money for their cars that they're trying to sell. So it was really cool. Yeah, we started off at the Monterey airport there. Which was really unique, and started just cleaning off all the cars, and it was really cool. They have this party that I had no idea about. It felt like a dream, because you have helicopters, you have jets, you have $1 million cars, you have all these different like vendors with different types of alcohol, and I had oysters. It was great, and everything had caviar on it. I was just like, where am I? But it was really cool to kind of commingle with, these people that are kind of there to purchase these very rare and luxurious cars. So it was kind of, it felt like a dream the entire time being there. So that was really cool to be able to experience and to go to that. And my favorite part was getting to know everybody there, getting to work with, it wasn't an environment where it was all just work. Let's do this as fast as you can, like serious. It was more about, getting the team together, connecting with everybody, learning about their lives, their businesses, what makes them passionate about detailing and everything. So it was a really cool experience just to bring everybody together from, across the country. And I think what was really cool is I didn't know a lot of the people on the crew. So there was only a few of them that I met, a couple times. So that was awesome to be able to meet a lot of new people, and a lot of people there I was excited to meet that I've seen on social media and other places. So it was really cool to like spend the time and get to know them and everything.
Yeah. I think that's always my favorite part too, is the team. And I know I speak for Keith and I both that is, I think, that is what drives us. And it's like a kid waiting for Christmas morning when we get to see the team come together and start, bonding and seeing how quickly they become friends and like lifelong friends. Right. And, we have a chat on Facebook through Messenger, and I mean, everyone's still talking, keeping up with each other. And I mean, I love nothing more than that. I love, and it's like a team you'll be part of for the rest of your life, right? Like you're always that 2025 team. I
feel like we should have got tattoos or something.
I know, totally. Gosh, we need to add that to the schedule next year. I'm down. But yeah, so fun. We just had a great time. And then the auction. So you got to be on the auction team for the Thursday. We kept 8 people at the auction, and that was pretty crazy. We did 161 cars, I think we did 100, right?
Yeah. So the first
60 at the auction. On Wednesday night, and then there were like whatever was left,
102 or something like that. Yeah. That was pretty fun. And the funny thing is we could sit here for hours and talk about like things that happened and highlights, and I mean it was just so fun. But the dinners, the van rides are crazy, right? Like that's something that we can never prepare people for. And sometimes we have people that'll go, "Oh, I'll drive my own car," and we're like, "You're missing the best part."
That you're missing all the sing-alongs and
yeah.
There's nothing like Vanioki. That's what I got.
Yeah, I was not in the karaoke band, but that's so funny. That's hilarious.
Bohemian Rhapsody closed the night.
Yeah. But it was a great week. I mean, we didn't miss a beat. Like nothing. Not that we usually have too many crazy things, but sometimes we have rain or a schedule change or something. And so this year went perfectly smooth. It was just a really, really great week. And it does seem like forever ago, but then also, well, I wasn't really home. I was going to say the week that I was home went by so fast, but I also wasn't really home. So, but it does seem like forever ago. And I think the worst part is you just miss everybody so much. There's like, that's the other thing. It's like, nobody tells you about the 2 days that you're home after Monterey, that you're just like broken hearted because you're not with your friend, you're having so much fun and then it ends like that,
it goes by very quickly. You're on this high, you're like, this is amazing, and then you're like you're at the airport and I don't want to leave.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Well, it was great, and it was great having you there. The whole team was phenomenal. I know we had to get Joey up to be here this morning, so thank you, Joey, for waking up this poor guy.
Not only awake, but first.
first. Yes.
Yes.
So funny. So
What a
funny.
trooper.
And,
Yep.
you know,
So good.
Alvin's here. Alvin is our guy in Singapore, our distributor down there. So Alvin is at the end of his day.
Cool.
I think.
Right. Yes. Yep.
14 hours
Nice.
different. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of Monterey questions will come up. So let's get into it. So real quick before we get into questions, Keith will bring up the good mornings. But let's talk about, one of our favorite parts of the show is always, what is your favorite product that you used last week? So I'm going to have you go first, Jason, because mine's kind of long.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess a week and a half ago when we were at Monterey, used a lot of P&S products. So Absolute is amazing for a waterless wash, but Defender surprised me because usually I'm working inside of a garage. It's climate controlled and everything.
Yeah.
And I really don't have any issues with it at all. And I really didn't know how it would react, like being outside in the sun. But it worked. Actually, I got two. So Defender was absolutely blown me away that we can use it outside and there's absolutely no streaking at all, and it protects the car. The second was the Reflect. The windows that we're using. And I was using on the inside and the outside of the windows too. And it's the same thing. You think you're outside, with the sun and everything, like this is going to be a mess. And super, super easy to use and no streaks whatsoever. So both those products, just being able to use them outside in different environments and know that you won't have any problems or issues, absolutely blew me away. So those are my two.
Yeah. Well, and then how about the cheat code of Defender that we found out a couple years ago after we started using it was, how were the cars on day 2 when we came back to wipe them down with Absolute? Was day 2, was that the morning we had to do or no?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Day 2, it was. That's it. I don't know if it rained or not, but it did
really
wet.
It was a light
really
rain.
Wet, yeah.
So
but I mean, they just, like such a cheat code though. I mean, we come back and they just wipe right off. We don't even have to do anything to them other than just keep them dry the rest of the time.
Yeah. It was nice to know that they were protected and had a little bit of slickness to them, drying them off and everything.
Yeah. So I love that. Very cool. And we, of course, love Reflect. I think Reflect is probably in my top 5. Absolutely love it. Yes, Jamie, let's get you back on the team. And I want to do tattoos with Jamie Buchanan. That's on my bucket list.
Does that guy have any more room for tattoos?
I don't know. I'm sure he's got a little part somewhere.
I might even entertain that idea if I went with Jamie. Yeah.
I would totally do it. Yeah. Okay, so I have a couple different, because I'm not going to be able to keep this to one. So first of all, last week, 5 days, Monday through Friday. So I did first I'll say my product. It's the whole system. So the Paint Recovery Series and Stout. I know that I sound like a crazy lady when I keep going, like, this whole thing is just, it has been like such a change in the industry and like for me specifically in my business as well. So, but last week I kind of got to put it to the test across all platforms, right? So I came home from Monterey. I have 2 coatings on the books and they're both kind of stressful. And I got to come back to my shop and literally just go to work. And, I had a Jeep 392 that I did rehab and the maroon pad on. The next day I had a white BMW, or no, it wasn't white, it was gray, the flat gray BMW. And it had a lot going on, water spots from the dealership. And I had to use intervention on the hood. And it was so nice because the dealer installed water spots were just across the top, right? So the hood and then you can tell, Keith, and then across the roof. And so I had to use intervention and therapy on just those 2 panels. The rest I knocked out with rehab and then did stout. And so for me, like personally, I'm coming off this week-long trip. I've been out of my shop. I've got 2 big jobs ahead of me that would normally stress me out. And it was just like, I had exactly what I needed and they just worked, so I think it took me 5, max 6 hours, on those 2 jobs. And then Wednesday, I flew to Rancho Cucamonga and did a class with, I think, did we have 7 or 8 students? 7 maybe?
It's 7.
At a distributor. And so now I'm in California. It's hot.
Yeah, we're in Inland Empire, so it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, we were in a warehouse that was not air conditioned, and we were working on a black Honda Civic that was absolutely trashed. And when I tell you that this puts all of those products to the test, the paint recovery series, and same thing, we had to bust out the intervention, we had to use the therapy. But thank God we had them. Like I look back at the classes where we just had rehab, and I was the first person to go, I only need rehab for the rest of my life. But, we had to pull out intervention and therapy, and, we got to get it in all these students' hands. They were not scared. They were up for the challenge. And the car looked amazing when we were done. And this was with, 7 students who had never touched a polisher before. And then the next day went to Oxnard, California, same thing, repeat the process. We used all of the products, so great. And then I got home at midnight on Thursday from LA and had another coating on Friday. So I had to jump right back in. And that one was a white racing Corvette from the Ron Fellows Racing School that still had all of the burn from the decals all down both sides. And rehab honestly just ripped all that out. So great, put stout on it, looked amazing. So I just looked at last week and I was like, that whole system, like the paint recovery series and stout together, so great. So great. I just loved it. And I loved giving the students confidence that, they can do this every day too. And it's not a big, scary monster. And so I just absolutely loved that. And then I forgot what my other one that I really wanted to mention was. I'll come back to it because there was another product that I was like, oh, I still got to say this though, but now I can't remember it. I haven't had enough coffee. Anyway, Keith, did you have one?
Well, I'm kind of like you, we've talked for years about coatings being super controlled environment products and, a challenge and UV light and all the things. And we were under tents doing stout on Thursday and it was about 87, I think. So, not ideal conditions. And we still really had no problems. Work a little smaller spaces, but otherwise product goes down really easy and just was fantastic. So I'm like Sid, I think it's the whole system we've kind of finally built there and it starts at the wash clay seal or the wash clay process with Absolute all the way through to finishing the windows with Reflect. I mean, that whole system, if you're trying to make money coating cars, I don't say we've made it, easy for everybody, but I think it's a pretty cool system that gets them from start to finish. And, and it's a lot of fun to teach because you see the students' eyes light up and go, wow, this isn't the big scary monster I thought it would be. So that's probably it. Steve, we did polish a car. I can't remember for the life of me what we did. We usually, we call it the token. Usually we pick the worst car we can find at the auction that needs the most work or somebody's freaked out the most about.
What was that? We did polish something. Now I can't remember. Kiki did it and he polished forever. And then we realized that they clear coated over all of the sanding scratches. What was, I can't even remember what.
That was the Nissan Silvia. But we did one in the hangar that was not down by where you guys were. God, for the life of me, I can't remember. But yes, we typically end up doing one car maybe that whole week. You get to the auction, we're going to make it look as good as it can. But if the paint's not dialed, it's kind of, as we said, that's patina. You paid extra for that. So there you go.
I was worried. I wasn't there before. So we heard over the radio that we were polishing a car. I'm like, there's a lot of cars here and we only have one day.
How
much are we going to be polishing here? So I was a little nervous when that happened.
We used to polish a lot more when they were owners' cars, but now that they're, auction cars, we kind of figure like it's about to be the owner's problem, but because every single one of them, the paint is pretty rough. And I think I remember back to my first Monterey, that's what I was not prepared for I was like, man, these cars, the paint is the same as the Suburbans and, Volvos that I work on at home. They're no better. So in some ways, sometimes they're worse. So, and Steve, we did not use any iron remover.
No.
We did not have pressure washers. We basically just did Absolute and, a lot of finishing. So, once in a while we pulled out a vacuum.
Yeah. We used to vacuum more than we have in past years. We vacuumed a lot of cars and the release was good for that. I will give you a top tip, detailers, as you're getting ready to turn a car over. A lint roller can be your best friend at moments.
Yes. Oh, we did use the lint roller, especially on those convertible tops, right?
There's a lot.
Yeah,
I know over on the Ferrari area, we used them a lot. And we have a comment coming up that reminded me of my other product. So I'm glad that he said this because it actually reminded me. So I'll talk about it when I get there, but I'm glad that he said that. That's
well,
awesome.
good morning in Guam. Hafa'adai
Yes.
to you as well. Super glad you're here, Chef Dylan.
Very cool. We did have an amazing Monterey Car Week. It was awesome.
We need to have a Guam Car Week, though. I'm thinking that we're going to have to put that together. So
yeah.
I'm in.
All right. Joey says, I crammed myself in some really tiny interiors to get the windshields.
Yeah, Joey's not an interior guy. He's a roof guy.
Yep. Which he was so handy to have, right? We would call him on the radio anytime we had something tall.
Yeah.
All right. Lakes Country Detailer says, is there a place where I can purchase a PNS sign for my shop? There is. Yeah. Probably on the PNS website is probably the easiest place to find it. Some of our distributors have banners. Jason, do you guys have banners on Car Supplies Warehouse? Usually they're just on our website mainly. So there's a couple different banners you can choose from.
I think we got like 7 banners. There are a couple of the big decals. So we do have the big PNS 60th anniversary circle decal. We also have the big PNS rectangular decal. They can buy all of those on the website. So go cruising for a bruising. If you can't find them, hit me up. I'll tell you what the part number is. All right. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
Hey, Ron.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Keep hitting the little 3 dots when I pull up a morning, Chad.
Good morning, Chad. Yes, Steve says, oh, dear Lord, Joey. I'm sure that was about something that he said.
I can only imagine. All right. Jamie is down for tattoos, it looks like. We're ready to go.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nicole, yay. The Alaska.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you at,
she's
Nicole?
in Denver. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, where's she at? It's too early. Oh, that's such a bummer. Nicole, I had a question for you last night. I didn't want to text you because I thought it was too early where you were. Hello, I am a PNS fan in Japan. I wash my car once a week. Would Bead Maker be a good finisher? Or if I wash it every week, would Paint Gloss or Dream Maker be better? I would go, because I use Bead Maker a lot as a drying aid, but I would honestly do like every second or third time do Bead Maker and then use Paint Gloss in between. I don't like Dream Maker as a drying aid, but definitely it's great for right after. So Dream Maker needs to go on dry. Paint Gloss Bead Maker can go on as a drying aid or a finisher.
Yeah, so I would do that wash, clay, seal probably every other week or once a month, and then probably finish out with Dream Maker or Paint Gloss the other times.
Yeah. Dream Maker's fun. It takes Monterey Car Week for me to kind of like get a love back for Dream Maker where I'm like, this product's amazing. I know I kind of sometimes go, I don't use it because I don't, but like when you need it to just have that pop for that day, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yep. And, it's pretty environmentally versatile. It doesn't matter what the weather really is. It holds up pretty good. All right. Joey finally has stouted the buggy, and the buggy was
holy moly. Slickest coating he's ever felt. Yep. I was playing with water for way too long. I know it's pretty fun. It's kind of like fireworks, right? I want to play like the Katy Perry fireworks song every time I wash my car.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing that goes with that is the slickness is instant. I mean, we did those cars last week, and we had to do our rental car for the second day, and it was trash to begin with. I mean, it was not in great shape. But man, how slick was that paint when we got done? Just boom. So.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yes, Ron says, I bet it was fun. I think he probably means crawling around in all the tiny cars. Steve said, SPG, that Corvette looked fire. You know what? This is what I told the customer. I said, if you can make white paint shine like that, it's pretty amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the white, I'm just fairly underwhelmed by white paint. And I was like, dang. Like that was crazy. And especially where it was so dingy from being a race Corvette. So those Corvettes, like they Ron Fellows buys them, puts them in these racing schools. So they have and they literally wash them with a brush. Like you can see every brush. I mean, all they do is wash them with a brush. They've got decals all over them. They've got track, who knows what, tire stuff all down the side. And so the way that paint cleaned up, and for being GM, I was pretty shocked. Like I should have taken more video before, but I just didn't. But it looked amazing. It was awesome. Super fun.
All right, we got a question.
This is the one I love. Okay, so knockoff. So I knock off all the time, right? Everyone's always like, is it good? And I'm like, no, just use Brake Buster. So here's the deal. Knockoff is in my Chemtrol, and that is what I put in my bucket. And so I did a video last week. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was like satisfying, like scrubbing a tire, right? A big tire on a Jeep. And it was really cool. Like the foam was so cool on the tire. So this is for all the TikTok detailers that need the aesthetic. Here's how you get it. So what I did was I was being lazy and I didn't want to fill up my IK sprayer in the sink. So I used the Chemtrol to fill up my big IK sprayer. And so I put knockoff in it, and then I added a cup of Brake Buster. So if you go watch that video, that is what the insane foam was knockoff and Brake Buster combined. So then all week I did that on every car, and I was like, this is my jam. Like I like the foamy foam. And so anyway, that was what's in the IK sprayer, and I had forgotten about it until I realized that I was being lazy. But man, so cool. So that was my other product, was knockoff, because I do always knockoff. So.
I use knockoff a lot, actually. We have a Chemtrol system in one of our bays and everything, and knockoff is our go-to wheel cleaner whenever we're cleaning wheels. So
nice,
really love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've just always kind of poo-pooed it, and I use it in my wheel bucket all the time. I do go through a lot of knockoff, but I've never really liked it sprayed on. But it was really cool in the IK sprayer. Worked really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, knockoff was designed to go through a what they call a chemical tire applicator in the wash system, where it kind of injects air and it foams it. So, and then of course doing it with the Shada booster of Brake Buster, I mean, you can't lose there. So.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, I think if you're going ready to use product, and you're just doing, I think Brake Buster is probably your way to go. If you're doing a lot of cars, knockoff is a great product because you can stretch it because it does dilute pretty well. So.
Yeah, it likes to be foamed.
It does like to be foamed. Yeah. So Alex says lint roller was amazing. Also, vacuuming rocks off rocker panels of cars.
Oh yeah.
Well out of my price range.
Yes, that is where we primarily use the vacuums, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these like rocker panels where it's open and you have the wheel, you can actually see the wheel. Like there was rocks like just sitting right on those, all those rocker panels. And
so funny. Yeah, lots of that for sure. Joey, my favorite was the black Ferraris whose paint looked like I installed Stout badly 6 months ago. Applicator lines everywhere, not leveled. It was bad. That was pretty crazy.
It was sad to see a couple of the
cars. I know. I took pictures of that because I was like, what? There was high spots everywhere. Keith, that was at the auction when we were preparing it for the auction, and it was about to go across the block, and we were all like, oh my gosh, there's high spots everywhere.
I want to fix
it. Yeah.
We could have, but I think I had all the polishers with me, so sorry.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's okay. We had all of the, we have all the absolute. Ron says, I have an Evercare fur eraser in my detailing arsenal. One of the best interior tools a detailer can have. What is that? What is an Evercare fur eraser? Ron, you're going to have to tell us.
We'll take a look
at it.
Yeah,
you're going to have to tell us what that is.
Yeah.
I like anything that attacks fur. Stoich says, let's go. I'm ready when you all are. I think you'd be surprised the car scene on such a small island. 90s JDM rules here, but we have quite a good selection across the board. Sign me up. I'm all about the 90s JDM.
Going to Guam.
Totally.
You're speaking to the right age group here. Fine detailing. Good morning, Ryan. This is Ryan. Good morning, Jason. I'll be there with the Hennessy slushie.
Highlight.
The Hennessy slushies were pretty great. Yeah. I didn't drink one, but I enjoyed everyone else drinking.
They made the rounds on the team.
I drank enough for
Yeah.
a few people.
Yeah. So fun. Steve said, someone sent me a question about crystal wash. Are there any surfaces that should be avoided or treated with care when using crystal wash? Yes, absolutely. The
A
front
couple,
windshield. The front windshield. Now, here's the deal. Here's what I tell people. Avoid the front windshield if you can, especially if you're working outside. But I always look at things like you only have to be careful if you're not going back over that surface. So crystal wash sprayed on the front windshield is not going to cause any permanent damage. What it will do is potentially spot on the windshield, but Clarity Cream takes it right back off. So if you're polishing the front windshield anyway, you can kind of avoid it, but you don't have to be as careful, right? So that's the only one that like occasionally, especially if it's warm or just a weird glass, it may spot it. But if that happens, Clarity Cream or really any polish is probably going to take it off super easy. You can't cause any permanent damage. But that's really it. I haven't really found any other surfaces that I need to avoid.
If you've got the old, like super faded black plastic texture trim, sometimes it can be a little hard to get that off of there. But of course, now that we got therapy, that we don't have that problem because we can just polish that off. So,
yeah.
All right, we got Amber coming in hot. Here we go. I installed a stout follow with Defender as per installation video. Washed my car for the first time 2 weeks later. I could not believe all of this. I was like, where are we going here? Hold on.
I know. What happened?
The ease of cleaning. I had zero need for a drying aid, unlike any coating. Yes.
Yes. We love it. We love it.
I
think my favorite thing.
Comment as well to scare the hell out of us. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like that season 2, right? I do love that and I think it's always so funny when I wash my car. I just did it with a foam wash the other day, and I hardly ever do foam. And I think it's so funny because my car is like a patchwork quilt of testing coatings. So there's, maybe a few panels have the same coating on it, but now the front end, because Joey and Alex had to get certified. So my whole front end is stout. But then I have some stout patches on the back of my car from when I was doing testing. And it's always so funny when I foam it because generally the foam won't stick to stout. So you'll have like, these white doors and then the back is just like falling off. And that is always to me where I'm like, yeah, that's different, right? Because all the other coatings, the foam sticks to just fine, but the stout, it just rolls off.
Well, I've always joked about this, Jason. So I don't know if you know, so we all at PNS kind of have our little product that we carry the banner for. And I've always joked that we should each have our own T-shirt with our own.
Yeah.
Mine would be
which one are we?
And Sydney's is Express. And so I think Josh's is going to have to be, it's coming in pretty hot that it's going to be Spray It because that's Josh.
Yeah.
So he is our big Spray It fan, and he's not wrong. It's a great product. And it, for not having a lot of buildup with that product, it's a synthetic wax spray protectant, and he's right. It does a great job for that kind of that topper or that in between protectant.
I'm curious, Josh. Have you ever used Spray It in the wash clay seal process?
Ooh, I hear testing coming.
I'm curious on that. I don't have any Spray It, so let me know. Yes, nothing like glowing white paint. Joey knows. Yep.
Yeah.
Right, because wasn't it you, Jason, that told him his paint? Isn't this why we're here? Because you told him his paint looked terrible.
Yeah, after we got back. Well, I didn't know if it was repainted or not. I'm like, what's wrong with your paint? That was me.
So funny. Yeah. Well,
I walked back in the warehouse and Belinsky's working on his car, and he's like, "Yeah, Jason called my paint out for being chalky." I'm like, "Oh, ouch."
Yeah, and so he spent like 3 days doing paint correction on his car, and then coated it. It was so funny.
I usually don't think before I talk, and I was just like, "That looks chalky." What's wrong with you?
Well, he got to put his new stout certification to good use. So, X6M Ghost. Good morning, everyone. Leaving for Europe today for 3 weeks. Holy moly!
Wow,
that sounds fun.
It's gonna be awesome. Send pictures.
That sounds fun. Pristine Auto Detailing. I can't get over how slick stout feels on first application. It's unlike a lot of coatings that start off grabby. That's so true. And I think that's probably for me, that's always my favorite one with my customers, to have them feel the paint right when they walk into my shop. I love that because that is like instant value to them, right? For why they just spent what they just spent. So I love that. But then also in training, like that is the coolest thing, to be able to take the students in, do their certificates, do the questions, and then we walk back out and we say, now feel the paint. And they're like, what just happened here? You know? So yeah, the slickness 1 hour later is just it. I've never felt anything like it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the customer experience is so important, when
Oh
you
yeah.
have something sticky or, there's things you can talk about like hydrophilic and hydrophobic and stuff, but that
Yeah.
hydrophobic beading is just that part of that experience
Yeah.
of, driving your car and seeing it when it freshly rained and everything. And that's a
Right.
huge part of, the
Yeah.
car and everything else.
Yeah. Well, and I always hated, like, 8 years ago telling people, wait till you see the car in a week. Like they'd write you a check and then you'd be like, wait till you see it in a couple days. It's going to look amazing.
Yeah.
So I love that it looks amazing right when they pick it up now. It's really great. Alan Medcraft, it's the dream team.
I miss him so
Typing in
much.
from the
I
UK.
do too. I sent him a message this morning. I said, are you coming to SEMA? Like, just, I hate not seeing him several times a year.
I know.
So hopefully we'll see him. All right, Frank says, I had a really dirty interior this weekend, and Swift and Release saved the day. Made it so much easier. I love Release. Love it. Love it, love it. Have you gotten to play with it too much, Jason?
Not a whole lot. I was gonna do a video before I left. I had one day, but I built out my van instead.
Nice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm way behind on product testing.
Yes. All right.
The owner of the pink spiker with the Louis Vuitton wrap on the door jambs is from my town in Kelowna, BC. Hey, we got another Canadian. Awesome. He actually drove it all the way there.
Wow.
Ooh.
I missed that, but I didn't get to see a lot of the cars at the Quail because I was at the auction. So I missed a lot of the cars at the Quail.
Something a lot of folks don't realize is these cars really look cool, but you don't want to road trip in them. You don't. Mm-hmm. You want to go rip around town for about 2 hours and then go park that thing and go.
Yeah. Well, and also, what about the traffic in Monterey? Like those lines, watching the cars trying to get in. How do you sit in traffic in those cars? Mm-hmm. I would have a heart attack. And if there's sticks, my gosh, can you even imagine holding the clutch in and out? That'd be a nightmare.
Well, that was a show.
The second best car show in Monterey is actually the parking lot at the Quail.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, totally. Too fun. All right. Thanks, bro, at Ron. Does that say I'm bad at reading this morning? Gurio style. When using Absolute for rinseless car washes, is a sponge better or is the microfiber mitt better? Please let me know if you have recommendations. There are many PNS enthusiasts in Japan too. So you might get different answers on this, but I am a sponge person, 100%. I prefaced it. I am 100% sponge with Absolute. I love the Ultra Safe sponge with the laser cuts. I've been using a sponge similar to that for, probably, 10 years. And I'm absolutely a sponge girl when it comes to rinseless wash. How about you, Jason? Sponge or mitt?
Well, this is me and Ryan did a video while we were at the auction with rinseless Absolutes, and he did a sponge and I did a microfiber towel. So that video, Fine Detailing, go subscribe to him. It should be coming out soon, hopefully. But and I kind of go the other way. I like the microfiber towel just because you can have several of them in there. I feel like when you have a sponge, you just have one. You're going to use the whole thing. You rinse it and everything. I just always gravitate towards microfibers where I can have several microfibers in there, wring it out. You got so many different sides too. And when I'm doing a rinseless wash, I like to kind of just wipe slowly and do that one wipe and then flip the towel and then do a next section just slow like that. Rid everything out. So it just feels a little more logical to me when I can box everything out and do a square and then flip the towel and everything. So that's why I prefer like the microfiber.
So what size microfiber, Jason?
16 by 16, just a normal, fit your hand.
And is it like a super plush, or which one do you like?
The plusher, the better. Usually, I like it when I'm doing rinseless, because usually, I have that one that's damp and dry. You have it in the bucket, and then you take a secondary. I mean, if I'm doing a rinseless, I'm using another product like Defender or Bead Maker, afterwards, and just a small spray, and I'm wiping it dry. So I'd rather do that if I'm going to do section by section on the car. And it usually ends up being faster than like a normal wash too. By the time you're all done and you're gridding out everything, I start at the top and, do the sides and everything, and then work my way to the bottom, the very last. But it goes pretty quickly.
Yeah. Very cool. I've honestly never tried the towel method. I'll have to try that.
Yeah. A new candidate enters the conversation. We've always been mitt, sponge.
Yeah.
Bob and I tend to lean a little more toward the microfiber, but I don't really care. I like them both. It just, as long as it's in good shape. That's my biggest gripe with those is, people don't clean them up, don't take care of them,
Right. But if I can mention while we're here but Jason, how cool is it at Monterey when we soak the liquidator down with it and just wipe the cars, right? Like that's pretty legit too.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of cars were very clean in the first place, just a little bit of dust there. So yeah.
But we've all been to car shows and we see the guys with the McGuire's spray detailer, and they're, they've got Streak City, right? And because their car's dirty, and it's like, oh man, if you just had an ice sprayer with Absolute and a liquidator, your car would look perfect.
That's all you need.
So much better than a detailer.
Yep.
All right. Alex, yes, my gosh, how did we forget this entire part of the trip? If you're not washing your microfibers at 11:30 at a laundromat in Watsonville, what are you even doing? Oh, the towel washing, for some reason this year we had to do towels every night. We did the really scary laundromat, then we did the laundromat where people don't put their kids to bed until 1 a.m., and then we did the hotel laundromat.
I'm thinking option number 2 is the best. Yeah. All that said.
Number 2 was the best, except I couldn't understand all the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds up with us at midnight. That was wild.
Got to do laundry.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, maybe they should do it at 7. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but yeah.
But the bonus of the laundromat thing was we had a bag full of quarters, on, I feel like people think I'm a hitman. I'm walking around with a bag full of quarters to kill people. I got a bag full of quarters in my luggage now, and we needed it last week when we were doing our LA. So worked out to an advantage to have a bag full of quarters. Who knew?
Yep. I should mention real quick, it is 1:15, and literally we have to finish on the half hour today because, like I said, we have a training. So we should probably start. You do too. You're in Hayward. Yeah.
And Josh has training this week, and you have training this week.
Yeah.
Thing,
so we do have to. We'll have a speed round here soon. Good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Oh my gosh! I was hoping he'd show up in the comments.
My new best friend.
Yes, he's so great. Steve says to safe travels, buddy, to X6M Ghost. Yes, that sounds crazy. Joey, I may be alone in this, but I think I enjoyed the auction more than the quail. Much more my style. And it was funny. We definitely had people that, like I know Ryan wanted to be at the quail, and, then we had a team at the auction, and there were 2 totally different vibes. And I love the auction. I absolutely love the auction.
Me too.
Yeah. And the lawn's really my style. I love the feel of that, the pace, the setting, for me, that environment just kind of has a little bit of magic to it. And look, Jason, so you didn't get to do the lawn on Thursday. So tell us a little bit what your first impression was walking out on the lawn Friday morning. It's kind of the first time you saw it.
It was cool. It was eye-opening. I'll kind of explain it like this between the auction and the quail too. The quail's kind of like you walk out on the lawn and you're listening to like classical violin music and everything. And the auction is kind of like you're listening to rock and punk music. You're like, yeah, let's go. But walking out on a beautiful golf course, the ambiance of everything. And then, literally like the first place that we go to is a whole entire hole full of Ferraris, F40s, F40s, and it's just like it's to see that much money on a lawn and all the cars there was you can kind of feel the energy too, because a lot of the owners were there and we were wiping down cars, and it was really cool to be able to talk to, and everybody's excited to be there, you know, especially in the morning when we're talking to the owners and everything. And it was, you know, top of the top. I mean, everything was done right. You walk into the quail, and like as you're walking into, before you even check in, there's a band there. There's a whole band playing music there. You walk in and they got champagne and all kinds of vendors. It was truly unique. And I wish we could have spent a lot more time on there. You know, we were there for a couple of hours in the morning, wiping everything down, but then we got to go enjoy it as a group. And that was really cool too. I mean, literally could have spent there all day there, just walking. A lot of different types of, and I didn't even know this at the Quail, that they unveiled like a lot of new supercars and stuff. And it, you know, before I won, I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even realize that they're going to be doing this. But they were, you know, a lot of the manufacturers are doing the same thing, revealing new cars or concept cars and stuff. So anybody who's into cars, or I mean, not even that, I mean, just the beauty of everything. It was absolutely amazing. Definitely going back.
I know. I was really bummed that the food was later, so we missed all the food, because I don't know if you read the menus, but I was like, come on, open. I was so sad.
A lot of champagne.
They had peach cobbler. I missed everything, but yeah, the champagne and the lemonade, and then there was pretzels, I think, available. But yeah,
just take a peach cobbler near me. That's all I got.
Yeah, peach cobbler near me. Yep. All right. Ron says it's a lint roller that looks like a paint roller with rubber fingers on one side. I've not seen that. I'll have to look it up.
All right, we're gonna look it up. Yep.
All right.
And by the way, Jason, if you didn't have one, you missed out on one of the best treats of the entire Monterey week, which was that croissant as you walked.
I did.
Oh,
the butter.
I was like
croissant
eating a stick of butter that just had bread texture. It was the best.
Yeah, you guys. So I have to like, you know, when like an angel walks up and hands you something, it's like this young man walked up and goes, "Would you like a croissant?" And it's like in a bag, and you're like, sure. And then you eat it, and you're like, what was that? Like, it was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't lived until you've had somebody walk up and hand you a hot buttered croissant.
It's
right. Wearing a bellhop outfit. That's what the fun.
Yeah, in the bellhop outfit. It was so amazing. Oh, the croissant. So great.
Guess who's here?
Thanks, Steve. Lindsay.
Hey.
So excited to come back down to Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
So exciting.
I'm excited for that.
Joey, I wish I was there learning some optical film install. Jason knows why. Yes. I wish you were here too, Joey. We should have had you come.
I'm going to send Joey some film. He's got, so top of his GTI, it's all black. And there's something happening on there where it's just like
delaminating or something. Yeah. Weird.
We got a solution, some optical black gloss film.
We can FaceTime train, right?
Yeah.
Josh says, I'll sound like I'll have to try that this afternoon. He must be talking about the wash clay seal. I'm just curious, because, you know, when I started doing the wash clay seal process, I was using car wax from Optimum, which was actually a phenomenal product. So I'm curious with spray it. So yeah, let me know.
Let us know.
Yeah, Michael Ott, gotta run. Great conversation so far. Have a great day. You have a great day too. We have 10 minutes.
Michael Ott is our Mesa franchise opening up the base.
Oh, right. Yeah.
October 4th, he's doing his grand opening.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the 4th. I thought it was the 11th. Okay, I gotta change my calendar. Hold on.
October 4th. I hope they didn't change it.
Monterey is going to be off grid for a second.
All right, Joey Belinsky. I needed that push, Jason. Don't feel bad. No, I know he's really happy with his car now. It you know. Yeah. I think he had fun doing it. I think it was a good segue for him after Monterey. It kept him busy last week, and I know he had a good time doing it.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Keith's changing his calendar. Alex, I was all for Joey's paint getting called out. Alex is down for Joey getting called out on anything all the time. Forget the paint. We just like seeing Joey get called out. I will say he must be pretty good at stout though now. So we should probably stop making fun of him for being smudgy.
And when you consider where he started with stout, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Joey, the life of testing things in the land of UV annihilation. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Dad's race pumpkin. The slickness is there 4+ months later. Yes, absolutely. And the cool thing is when we were testing stout, gosh, when did I start putting that into testing? Like May of 24 or something like that. So the ones on my car are a year and a half old now with salt and who knows what else, and still slick as day one. Slick as day one.
Yep.
Still the
The
fireworks.
2 doors on my truck are too, which
Yeah.
you only did 2 doors on my truck.
Right.
So-
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Steve says, Joey, if it makes you feel better, my paint is cloudy too. Once I get some free time, that is going to change.
Let me know how the free time thing works out and tell me how you do it.
To her. I felt like a contortionist trying to get into some of those cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into a lot of those cars. Are so low.
Yeah. They're so tiny. Joey says, Steve, that does make me feel better. That Steve's car needs help too.
All right. Amy
Otterness in the chat. She says, good morning from Illinois. We are missing Jason at home, but we're so excited for him in this amazing adventure, especially his appearance on your podcast.
That's
so nice. So nice. Love it.
Hey, we know where he is today, Amy. How's that? So what is it, about a month ago or a little less, your wife calls me because we're talking about something with billing and everything.
That was so funny.
And I'm like, yeah, we're super excited to have Jason out with us in Monterey. She goes, when's he doing that? I don't even know what the hell he's doing these days.
I think it was the week before.
My wife, she says the same thing. She has no idea where I am on any given day. So.
She's used to it. She understands. Very understanding.
Yeah, so fun. So fun. Ryan said the video is coming soon, the rinseless wash one. Alvin Lowe, what is the key difference between Mudbuster and Brakebuster? So Mudbuster probably falls more into the like APC degreaser category. It's going to be more of like a pre-wash. Brakebuster is truly a wheel and tire cleaner. They both do have rust inhibitors, but I believe Mudbuster has a little bit different, right? A little bit different version of a rust inhibitor, a little different thought process there. But Mudbuster is probably more of like a pre-wash. Not that you can't wash wheels and tires with it, but Brakebuster is more of a gel-like consistency and is much more for rubber and wheels.
Yeah, so the Brakebuster's got a lot more solids in it, if you were to think of it that way. And it's designed to attack brake dust particles a little bit more. It's designed to mimic a wheel acid, whereas your Mudbuster is really a dirt and grime buster. So it's really designed more to attack that particular piece of things. So you'll actually get more iron removal for sure out of Brakebuster than you will out of a Mudbuster. So that's another piece that goes with it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next question.
All right, Stoich says, let me know when Peanuts wants to release a kitchen cleaning line. No joke, we have used an Ecolab since I can remember, but EnviroClean as a floor and equipment cleaner is amazing. And Blast. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Blast in the IK.
Oh, okay. For hoods is perfect. So I don't know that they'll actually release a kitchen cleaning line, but I use a lot of PNS in my home cleaning bucket for sure. Love it. Defender on the countertops. I use Absolute on the floors. It's really great. So Amber says, did you guys try to go to Bee's Knees Ice Cream? I saw your message about this. And the problem is when we go on trips like this, everything is very regimented. So, and we have 25 people to try to get to one place at one time. So we can't really ever go off course. So it's such a bummer. I did see your message, but there's really not any extra time. And we set the course and we stay on it. So it did not. The only off course we did was the laundromat, but again, that happened at midnight. So with the 8 people that were awake.
I think we should get a special merit badge because getting 25 detailers to do anything in unison is in its own right a challenge. Right. And these guys, the team came together unbelievably and very quickly this year, which was great.
And we didn't even lose anybody.
No, we didn't. Yeah, no.
Is that normal?
Well, no, but I do honestly because by, like Monday, we're really good about count your people, and then by Wednesday, it's let's go. And then I'm always I hope everybody's, so we start to forget to count people. And I'm always I hope we're not leaving anybody.
You forget to count people. So every morning I go check in at Bob's van, and everybody thinks I'm just saying good hi. I'm doing my head count. Then I get in our van. I look at Josh and I go, "We got everybody." He's, "Well, I got 14. Okay, there's 11 back there. We can go." So I do that every morning. That's what I'm doing. When I'm checking in at the van saying hi, I'm actually counting your head. So
That's funny. That's funny.
well, we did.
All right, we
leave
got to go
somebody
speed
behind.
round. We got 3 minutes. Okay, I think we did
Oh,
that
we
one.
got that. That was part of the yeah.
Mm-hmm. Detail Grind podcast
Yes.
coming in,
Oh,
saying we would
we
love to
gotta
have
do
Jason on our
Detail Grind.
podcast sometime soon. Yes, for sure.
Anytime.
But it's a
Anytime.
I love
Friday
the
night
Detail
thing,
Grind
so.
podcast. Yeah, but it'll be late for Jason, so that'll be nice. Steve, sponge for rinseless all day for me. It's the dirt release. Amen. I worry about dirt getting trapped in the microfiber using a soft sponge. Yeah, the microfiber scares me, but I can see where if you have multiple, but yeah. Joey says, I fully expected to be killed at the laundromat when Keith told me, go in and find an outlet to charge these radios. I do remember him running in and he was so stressed out, and we were trying to ask him what he's doing. He's like, I'm doing what Keith told me. I gotta find an outlet. And yeah, that was pretty sketchy, but Keith likes to have sketchy situations at laundromats, so it was right in line.
I'm gonna write a whole book about it someday.
Yeah.
My
How
sketchy
Keith
situation.
almost got us killed. We already have 2 chapters. Steve, what's good, bud? Amber, I've used a sponge, microfiber mitts, microfiber towels. I prefer the sponge, but really I think the differences are so nominal. It's mostly personal preference. Amen. There is no right way. It's whatever way it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Danny, I have a question. Shoot.
Okay, ask away. Better
We're
hurry.
ready. Yes,
Detail
on the
Grind
podcast.
Yes. Not gonna lie, I did
Josh
some promo this year.
Petro.
Yeah.
Josh Petro coming in.
You were on vacation though, dude. It was good.
Yeah.
He needed the break.
He wasn't on vacation. He was like soccer tryouts. He said I did have some FOMO while watching. We missed you, Josh. We did for sure.
Yeah, I missed
fine detailing. The Ring Brothers 1971 Aston Martin concept was unreal at the Quail. Yes.
Yep. All right, here's his question.
Danny, why have so many people been complaining about using Beadmaker or Defender on coated vehicles and how it changes the hydrophobic properties? Is this true? I mean, we're talking again like so little. I don't know what people just complain about stuff, but is it true that it does change whatever's on top is going to be your main hydrophobic property? But what I will say is, like, on my car, obviously I have Stout and I put Beadmaker, I put Defender, I put other stuff all the time, and I still have the hydrophobic properties of Stout. So does it cover it up? I'm going to have to say honestly, no. I do think that you end up with the hydrophobic properties of your last step. What I will say, what I do notice is when cars go through a car wash and they do that ceramic rinse, I do notice a difference because I think it leaves behind residue. And that's what changes it. But I use Beadmaker and Defender all the time on my car that's been coated in Stout. And when water hits that thing, you know it's got Stout on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that big of a difference.
And also, like, what a silly thing to like argue over, right? Like, they all have water behavior. Like, what are we looking for? Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot too. I don't understand it, Danny. Joey, the croissant saved the day. Absolutely. Joey says, thank you for separating Dewar and I, Sydney. We needed it. That was so funny. They traded partners. And so Joey got Gabe at the auction, which was so great, right? Because we got to see Gabe be a little Make-A-Wish kid. That was pretty fun. Yeah, that was great. Joey, and thank you for the championship belt. Totally unexpected. Yes. So on the final day, we got to award the Detail Grind podcast with the top contributor of the year from the Beadmaker Lounge. Frank says,
keep in there. You can get a belt next year, guys. You know.
Yeah. Frank saying hello to Jason. Good to see you again. Scott, peace all. Jason, I'll see you at your event in Romeoville. Awesome. Yes, you guys are doing the IDA meet and greet. We should give a plug for that real quick. So Jason's doing a meet and greet at the Bays in Romeoville, and you guys have car candy with you at the same time. So that'll be really awesome.
Yeah, mid-September. I forget the dates. I can't remember if it's the 16th, 17th, 18th, right around there. But 2-day car candy event that we're doing. Still some open spots there, and then that Saturday or that Friday evening from 5 to 7. We're doing a meet and greet at the Romeoville location. So come out. I might get some drinks. We'll have some discounts, and we're going to make it a good time.
You should figure out how to make those Hennessy slushies, and I bet you people would come in droves.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I could rent that machine.
I bet you could. And just buy a Hennessy sticker off eBay. You'll be good.
Yes.
Alex Stewart says, yes, the belt was an emotional time. So amazing.
Yeah. And there may be an announcement on a meet and greet at PNS here for that same week. So
yes. And Josh Petro and I have one that same week here in Boise too at the Toy Box. So it's like the IDA is doing a national week of meet and greets, which we have a lot set up. So I'm pretty excited about it. It should be good.
Yeah. And Josh Pierce is doing one in Iowa. So check out Josh. He's doing one the same week.
Yep.
So awesome.
Yeah. So Amber says, no worries. If you ever get the chance, it's worth it if you're a honey lover. I am a honey lover. So I will try to go back to Monterey for sure. Danny, thank you. God bless.
All right. That is our stuff. Jason, you are with Sydney this week through Wednesday? Then you're back on the road home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then your next event is what?
The IDA, the Car Candy event training, and then the IDA meet and greets at Romeoville. Yeah. I'm going to stick at home for a couple weeks.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. And our next event, Keith is doing training this week in Hayward.
Right.
And then our next kind of big event is Budco, the weekend of the 11th. Is it like the 11th or 12th? I can't remember, of September. We will be at the Budco Open Garage event. This will be our 4th or 5th or 6th year being at that event, which is great. Always a favorite. And so I'm looking forward to that because I think Keith and I are going to road trip to that one. So
we have a bunch of stuff we got to check off.
Yeah, we have some personal antique shopping that we need to do. So we need to take a vehicle with us. So we're pretty excited. Joel LaPalm, thanks for joining in. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for checking in. But other than that, we've got, I know we probably all have SEMA on our minds. So, over the next, you'll probably hear us talk about SEMA a lot. Now it comes down to the big SEMA push. So, but yeah, just keep up with all of our social medias. Keep watching Jason's adventure. I'm sure the adventure home could be real interesting.
Yeah.
He'll probably need us all to be there in the comment section to get him home. So, hey, Nathan Warren checking in last minute too. Awesome. Nathan was with us. Good time. Good time.
So much fun. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we better go get the doors open for these trainees and get the rest of the shop set up. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Jason, I know I was like, hey, can we throw a wrench in your morning of setup? Always a good time. But Keith's got to get to set up his training, probably because everything got torn apart for Monterey. So that should be fun.
So we're meeting for coffee. We're going to kill it. So it's going to be great.
Nice. Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. We will see you in 2 weeks on the next episode. And Jason, good luck this week and have fun on your drive home.
Yeah, everybody have a great week.